How's it going, everybody? It is I, Visual. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus the Smasher over here in the UU tier. So just gonna lead off with my Swampert. It is gonna be a max defense set with Scald, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, and Roar. As he leads off with Gengar, goes for the Shadow Ball, and it does over half to me, gets that nice special defense drop, as I just want to get my Stealth Rocks up. Now, I do not want to stay in, as this Gengar will just knock my Swampert out, and I could potentially want to keep it. Later on in the game, it could be useful for the rest of his team. So I want to go to Kommo-o since it's Bulletproof, and I'm immune to Shadow Ball, which is very nice. And I'm guessing the Gengar is going to be either Focus Sash or Choice Scarfed. I'm surprised he actually stayed in on my Swampert, because I could have just Earthquaked him. So I was thinking it might be Focus Sash, but I wanted to just Dragon Dance up and see. He could have Sludge Waved me, but hey, I'm willing to take that risk, as luckily he's just switched out to Nidoking. And now I can blow back that Nidoking with my Devastating Drake and claim a life over here. So looking at his team, he doesn't really have too much. For my Kommo-o, I do have Poison Jab for his Primarina, Outrage, and then I have Drain Punch. And yeah, he decides to bring in the Manectric, and this thing is just gonna try and intimidate me, which is totally fine. I mean, it's not really that big of a threat, honestly, to me, because if it has HP Ice, it can't really knock me out. It'll be a nice little chip, though. I just decided to go for another Dragon Dance on it, because I want to get that plus attack again. The Intimidate brought me down to neutral damage, and I couldn't really knock out Manectric either way, so that's why I wanted to Dragon Dance up. Might as well, right? So he went for the Volt Switch, so maybe he doesn't even have HP Ice. Maybe he just has, like, Hidden Power Grass. I've seen that a few times with Mega Manectric now. But he brings in Primarina and lives that Poison Jab at +1. I was like, dang it, man, I thought I could maybe knock it out and get a nice Kommo-o sweep, honestly. But yeah, he just knocked me out right there. So now I'm bringing my Manectric, and his Primarina is probably going to be a sack at this point. I just, you know, stay in regular Manectric form. Just an off chance I want to keep that Intimidate for later. Or if he wants to bring in his Manectric and try and like go for an electric move, I can be immune to it with my Lightning Rod ability. But he brings in the Gengar, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stay in on this and just Thunderbolt it. I want to see if it's Choice Scarf, and just find out what kind of Gengar this is. As it turns out to not be Choice Scarf, and I outspeed it, so I'm like, okay, cool. I just go for the Volt Switch, weaken it. It might have even been Choice Specs, judging from that Shadow Ball damage on Swampert. That did a lot, honestly. So I bring in my like max HP Scizor, and that Shadow Ball almost KO'd me. So yeah, I'm thinking that's probably going to be Specs Gengar. So I wasn't too sure the rolls on Swampert, but I probably should have guessed since it did over half to my Swampert. And Gengar, I mean, it's strong, but not that strong with you know, no Life Orb or anything like that. So I decided to bring in my Swampert over here on the Manectric, and hopefully it's not Hidden Power Grass, and luckily it's not. It was just Hidden Power Ice, so that's really good for me. And now that I can just, you know, go for Scald and maybe try and get a burn, but I went for Earthquake over here, and now I can fire off some Scalds. Swampert being healthy really helps out against the Scizor matchup, even though Scizor, if it doesn't get burnt and it starts Swords Dancing up, that could be kind of a problem. But I still do have my Manectric with Intimidate, and hopefully that will come in handy. So just going to try and fish for some burns over here with Scald, as he just goes for the Roost, and that's a little bit annoying, but I'm still going to try and, you know, fish for the burn. That's all I really need, is to try and just cripple the Scizor down. Because honestly, if Scizor just gets a +6 with Swords Dance, that could be a problem. But he actually just goes for the Bug Bite right there, so that's pretty nice. As unfortunately I don't get another Scald Burn on the Scizor, so he can maybe go for another Roost right here. I expect him to probably want to go for another Roost, so that's why I want to switch out my Swamperts into my Manectric, because I want to try and bring in Manectric safely and hope that, you know, it won't take as much damage, really. But he actually decides to go for another Bug Bite right there, and that does over half. And at least he doesn't have U-turn, so he doesn't gain really any momentum, you know, attacking my Mega Manectric. And then I can just knock it out with the Thunderbolt right there. So then comes the Infernape. I could just really stay in. Actually, I just want to switch out. I don't really have to stay in. I can just sack Swampert, since Swampert doesn't really do much against the rest of his Pokemon. It pretty much goes down to anything, as he actually fires off Mach Punch, and he's Life Orbed. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So it's going to be able to knock me out, but I honestly thought it would have been Choice Scarf Infernape with a Choice Specs Gengar. It just makes sense to me, because it could just like outspeed a lot of Pokemon, but now I know it's Life Orb, and even if it was Choice Scarf, Gengar would outspeed it either way, and I can just go for the Shadow Ball and to knock out the Infernape, and that is going to be a GG versus Smasher, because Mega Manectric is going to go down to the next Shadow Ball, And Scarf Gengar just outspeeding pretty much almost his entire team. Because his last Pokemon's not going to take Shadow Ball at all. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Because Gengar is not Choice Scarfed, judging from that Mega Manectric. Volt switching it, so yeah, Gengar is really nice with Choice Scarf. I have Sludge Wave on here with Trick, and I have Destiny Bond. Destiny Bond actually comes in handy a lot of the times as well with Trick. Maybe you want to trick like a Blissey or something like that, just to cripple it and make it not being so annoying. So yeah, next up we have versus Diddy over here. He has a Gligar, taking use of Gligar since Gliscor left the UU tier to join OU. And then he has a bunch of hard hitters, honestly. I was like Crawdaunt, Infernape, Scizor, and then Nihilego was probably thinking Rocks, maybe T-Spikes, and then Mega Manectric. And Mega Manectric is always a good Pokemon to have on a UU team, honestly, with that useful Intimidate. So I'll lead off with Manectric, expecting Nihilego to want to be a lead, as he does lead off that. I can see if it's Choice Scarf or Focus Sash or what, as I could just Volt Switch on it and switch out accordingly. I just expect it to go for Rocks, honestly. So that's why I kind of want to go into my Scizor on this and just threaten it out with a Bullet Punch, and then I'll go for a U-turn, predicting it to want to switch out and gain some momentum and see what he wants to switch in on Scizor, as maybe I can get my Rocks up on one of his Pokemon that he brings in on Scizor. But he actually goes for a Power Gem and gets a crit on me. I was like, whoa, baby, calm down. And it turns out he's Black Sludge as well, so that's good to know. So I just go for the U-turn right here. I don't expect him to stay in, because he will just lose his Nihilego to the Bullet Punch, and I doubt he wants that, as I get an unfortunate crit on the Infernape, which I don't really think mattered too much since it barely did anything at all. And then I bring in my Swampert, as he actually stays in and goes for a Toxic on me, so very risky play, as if I just went for the Earthquake and I would have knocked him out. So it seems like everybody just likes to stay in on a Swampert, and I mean, to be expected, Swampert always has Stealth Rocks, but what if I was like a Bandit Swampert? Even though you don't run into that too much, what if I was and I just blow you guys back? I don't even need to be Bandit to blow these guys back, though. So he brings in Crawdaunt, as I just go for the Scald. I feel like Scald would be pretty free right there. Maybe try and fish for a burn or something. Pretty risky, I would say, to bring in Crawdaunt on a Scald, because what if I burned it and then he'd be crippled? So I was like, okay, Kommo could be a good switch into the Crawdaunt, as he turns out to be Ice Beam, and then almost one-shots me. If he had Stealth Rocks up, he would have one-shotted me. I was like, Jesus Christ, what is that Crawdaunt? And it turns out to be Modest Choice Specs, judging when I calced it, and I was like, wow, you don't see that ever, really. It's a pretty rare sight. I mean, I think people ran it before, and yeah, it just has pretty decent special attack as well. I think it has 90 special attack, so it can be pretty decent, but I'd rather just use Premium Choice Specs, to be honest. It's a lot harder, and it's better typing, in all honesty, in the UU tier. So luckily he switches out, as I just fire off the Dragonium Z. I expected Gligar to want to come out on my Kommo, honestly, and luckily it's not going to be able to take an Outrage after a Dragonium Z, so that's pretty awesome for me. So I'm locked into Outrage as he brings in Scizor, pretty much just get some chip damage up with Outrage. I'm actually surprised he allowed me to get that nice chip, as maybe he's Roost and he can just recover it later on, and maybe he just wanted to go for a U-turn right there, but Bullet Punch is pretty free, so I'm thinking maybe he's Bandit too. I don't know, he doesn't want to be locked into Bullet Punch, potentially, because that gives me a lot of just momentum on his team. So he brings in the Infernape, chipped away, which is actually pretty nice because it is in range of a Choice Scarf Gengar, and I just knocked that guy out with a Shadow Ball, so nice. He might have been Choice Scarf with Toxic with Infernape, that's why he stayed in, but yeah, you're not going to live in a Gengar Shadow Ball from that range. So he brings in Crawdaunt. Looking at his team, I felt like Togekiss was going to be the most expendable, since Togekiss doesn't really beat anything. He has Manectric, Scizor, like, it's not doing much, and then he has Nihilego. So yeah, Togekiss was going to be my sack, and I just decided to go for a Heal Bell over here because I expected one of Manectric or Nihilego to want to come out, and Togekiss doesn't really do much with Air Slash. This Togekiss is going to be max HP, max speed with Heal Bell, Air Slash, Nasty Plot, and Roost. So pretty nice, pretty nasty set, I would say. Can defeat a lot of teams with flinching it down and just Heal Belling any status moves. But we wanted to Heal Bell because of that Swampert. It was toxic, and keeping Swampert healthy is very nice for the Scizor, and potentially Mega Manectric if it's not HP Grass. So he actually pulled a nice double in the Crawdaunt right there, as maybe expecting me to want to go into Swampert or something else, but honestly, I'm just going to go right back into Togekiss, as, like I said, Togekiss is going to be my sack of choice. As if Togekiss was gone, then he would have got me right there. He would have probably gone something important, but luckily this time he does not. So I bring in Mega Manectric over here, as Mega Manectric can easily just one-shot this thing and gain some momentum against his entire team. But at the same time, I kind of wanted expected to bring him to bring in his Manectric on one of my electric moves. That's why I didn't want to go for Volt Switch or Thunderbolt. I wanted to go for a Hidden Power Grass right there. Yeah, this Mega Manectric is Hidden Power Grass. but he actually brings in Nihilego, and I just, you know, do a little bit of chip and then Volt Switch on it, which actually maybe I should have went for a Thunderbolt on it, because maybe I could have knocked it out right there, but at the same time I was kind of scared of him bringing Manectric as well, and getting that Lightning Rod ability and raising a special attack on my electric move, and then doing some big boy damage. So I bring out into my Swampert over there to, you know, take the Power Gem, and then I bring in Scizor as a kind of like a scout to see if he has Grass Knot, but he actually turns out to just go for Sludge Wave, so I was like, nice, okay, cool. I'm immune to that, so I can just go for the Bullet Punch and knock out Nihilego. I just wanted to go for Bullet Punch right there because looking at his team now, Scizor didn't really look that useful, honestly. And it really doesn't really do much against when he still has a full HP Mega Manectric. But yeah, I actually brought a Manectric and then pulled a double into Scizor, which I didn't expect. I thought he would just, you know, try and knock me out. I was just going to sack my Scizor off because I just didn't think I really needed it anymore. But now I get a free Roost off against his Scizor, and then he just Roosts up on me, which isn't really the biggest of deal because I still have my Manectric and Swampert, which hopefully can maybe burn it or just knock it out. Because Mega Manectric with Intimidate should be able to easily take a Scizor hit. So I went for a Swords Dance right there, because why not? I mean, Scizor can't really do much to me unless he Swords Dances up as well. But he actually throws off the Savage Spin out, the Buggy MZ, so didn't expect that at all against his Scizor. And it does do a decent chunk, but luckily, since I am running a lot of HP on my Scizor, I pretty much live that. Maybe if I was running an offensive Scizor, I would have got one-shotted. Maybe that is what he was expecting, but luckily, bulky Scizor is able to live that. So I just go for the Roost right here. Maybe I should have went for another Swords Dance, or maybe just Bullet Punch, or something like that other than Roost, but I kind of wanted to just go for Roost because what if he just stayed in with the Scizor and wanted to Swords Dance up against me. So, Manectric gets to Intimidate me. I'm only at +1 now. I just wanted to go for Bullet Punch because I was just going to sack my Scizor either way. Gets a nice chip up on the Manectric, put it in range of pretty much anything for my Manectric. That was the plan, really. And also putting everything in range for Gengar as well, as I can bring in my Choice Scarf Gengar and Revenge kill the Mega Manectric. And yeah, down it goes. So maybe he didn't expect me to be Choice Scarf, maybe his Infernape was banded with Toxic, I'm not too sure. Because, you know, naturally Gengar is just faster, and he just didn't want to switch out his Infernape into something else, because looking at his team, he doesn't have too much for a Gengar. Like, his best switching is maybe Crawdaunt, but Crawdaunt gets killed by Shadow Ball, honestly, because Crawdaunt is not really the bulkiest Dark type. So I just go for the Shadow Ball on a Scizor as he just Swords Dances up, and then he one-shots me with the Bullet Punch, which is to be expected since Gengar is pretty frail on the defense side, and Scizor is just massively strong with its attack. So now I bring in my Mega Manectric, Intimidate it, and now I can just easily live a hit and knock him out with a Thunderbolt, as Bullet Punch does not two-shot me, which is very nice. Maybe if he had another Swords Dance up, it would have easily two-shot me, but I would knock him out before he knocks me out. So in comes Crawdaunt, which is Choice Specs, it doesn't have Aqua Jet, and I can just easily just one-shot that as well. And if it was Life Orb, that could be kind of scary if it was a Crawdaunt Life Orb, but then Kommo-o would have taken care of it a little bit better. So yeah, that's going to be a GG to Diddy. That Gligar was kind of scary though, not going to lie, because if it was going to be like max defense, I feel like Kommo-o might have not been able to break through it. But luckily, it probably wasn't max defense, judging on the Dragonium Z calcs. So last up we have versus Kite, and looking at his team, it looks not to be the, you know, an ideal UU team, but you know, never underestimate a team. It could be doing work, so we'll see. I mean, he does have Celebi and Mega Aerodactyl potentially, so it could be something. And Yanmega is not Pokemon to mess around with. And then Flygon, I mean, Flygon isn't really the best in UU, not gonna lie. But hey, you never know, it could do something at least. So I decided to lead off with Manectric as he leads off with Aerodactyl, and I just wanted to go for a safe Thunderbolt, honestly, because he might just want to stay in and go for an Earthquake, thinking he can, you know, knock me out. And I know for a fact Mega Aerodactyl cannot knock me out, as I get that nice Intimidate off on him. So you never really know, because looking at his team, maybe he's not too experienced with the UU, as he just fires off the Toxic right there. So maybe he expected me to go into like Swampert or something. Swampert is a decent switch into Mega Manectric, and he'll put me on a timer, but nah. I'll allow the damage on Mega Manectric, honestly, just knock out a Pokemon, and maybe he would want to scout and switch into Flygon as well. So now he brings in a Flygon. He could be Choice Scarf, so I don't want to stay in, and plus I don't have a really good move to hit it with since I don't have Hidden Power Ice. I have Hidden Power Grass. So I go into Togekiss, predict Earthquake, and now I want to switch into my Swampert because he might be like stealing MZ Flygon, honestly, and he does pack the Iron Tail right there. So I was like, yeah, Flygon carrying that Iron Tail. I know what your movesets are. So now I'm pretty sure I could take anything Flygon wants to go for, unless it's Dragonium Z, but I feel like it might be Steelium Z. But then he throws off the Toxic. I'm like, what is this? Mono Toxic, everything? I mean, That's not that bad, to be honest, putting everything on a timer. But at least I do have Heal Bell on my team. So I get my Rocks up right there, you know, chip away at any of his Pokemon, and if he has any potential Focus Sashers. And now I want to go into my Scizor, as Scizor can pretty much potentially take anything Flygon wants to go for, unless he has Fire Punch or Fire Blast, which would be dope. But he just has U-turn, so I know his entire moveset now. He has no Dragon Stab, which is good to know, so maybe I can set up on it with Kommo-o. He brings in Yanmega, and I was like, okay, what is this gonna do to me? I'm just gonna Swords Dance on it, unless he's Hidden Power Fire, which would be Tech. But he has Hypnosis, and I was like, whoa, okay, then you don't see that ever on a Yanmega. That's pretty cool. And he has Speed Boost, though. At least he's not Tinted Lens, which pretty much like naps a kill for him every single time. But he decides to bring in Flygon over here, so I'm like, okay, what are you going to do to me? You don't really do much. I mean, the best thing you can do is Earthquake. And he does just go for the Earthquake hit there, so I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's fine. I can maybe wake up over here. He gets a crit, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not fine. I thought I could maybe beat this down, but nope. So I decided to just go to come over here, because I don't want to sack my Scizor to the Flygon, as I can maybe keep it for later if I can wake up and Bullet Punch, and also I can Heal Bell the sleep away as well. So now I get a free Dragon Dance off with the Kommo-o as he brings in the Crobat. If it's not Scarf Crobat, then it should not be a problem, as I can just blow this thing back with Dragonium Z, and it turns out to be Black Sludge right there. So I know for a fact this thing is going to get one-shotted by the Dragonium Z from Kommo-o. And man, Kommo-o just always does work whenever I use it. It's just such a good Pokemon, honestly. I love it. I kind of miss it in the RU tier though, because it literally rose up to UU because of its Z-move and its banned in the UU tier. Maybe for other reasons as well, though, since it got close combat. But honestly, people were using Klinger Soul Blades all the time until they banned it. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But yeah, anyways, he brings in Blossom, which is a PU-mon. But hey, Blossom gets critted, so maybe I would have lived that, because Blossom is actually pretty bulky, not gonna lie. I've used Blossom before, Quiver Dance, and it actually does work with Giga Drain and HP Ice, not gonna lie. So brings in Yanmega, and he actually switches out Yanmega, not too sure why, into Flygon right there. I mean, pretty much, it's kind of over though, since Kommo-o kind of just plows through everything, not gonna lie. And yeah, Yanmega goes down to Stealth Rocks. He could have just sacked it, honestly. Maybe it was kind of banking on me getting the confusion, but he just sacked his Yanmega right there, and he could have maybe kept Flygon for later, honestly. So in comes Celebi, shiny Celebi, which is pretty, and he can just probably knock me out with the Psychic. But yeah, I have all my Pokemon, and he only has one left, which is Celebi, and I doubt he can win the game when I still have my Gengar, which is just going to easily Sludge Wave, unless he Swords Dance Sucker Punch, which is actually, you know, probably not a set, but hey, it learns it, so it's always a possibility. But he just goes for Leech Seed, and then I just go for the Outrage and almost knock out Celebi, and then he goes for the Z move, and I'm like, what is this? Gloom Doom? Okay then. I guess he has no Psychic Stab right there, and Kommo-o just lives that, so it doesn't really matter too much. So unfortunately, Kite's team is not going to be able to maybe nab a kill. Or maybe Kommo-o dies. Yeah, Kommo-o dies actually, I remember now. Kommo-o is really low, and he got a crit as well. That mattered. Every crit matters. Nah, I don't think that mattered. But now Gengar gets to come in and claim the life, so at least Gengar gets to show off something in this last game over here. But yeah, Choice Scarf Gengar is pretty dope. I like it a lot. Really good move. I guess B tier and moves. Learns Dazzling Gleam, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, but this time we're just running Stab with Trick and Destiny Bond. It really does come in handy sometimes, Destiny Bond, for sure. So yeah, that's going to be it for the Wi-Fi battles. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, a deal thing. And comment question of the day is, what is your favorite ghost type? Leave it down in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.